Frick. Okay, what's up? Alright, what's up, team? What's up, Team Leem? What's up, Leemers? It's Leem. I decided to come back for a second video. Yeah, seconds. Might as well call this a situationship. Something. But yeah, we're back. I decided to tell just a short little story from my childhood. You know, it's a goofy one. It's just a funny one. You know, one that people don't believe. Everybody refuses to believe this one's real. But it was real, because, I mean, I was there. A couple other people were there. There were witnesses to this event, you know. As crazy as it may sound. So, let's get right into it. Story starts off, I'm like 6, you know. That puts my younger brother at 5, and my youngest brother probably around 2 at that time. Those ages are way off. no, not 2. I think he was like close to infant probably. And then my older sister she was probably like 11, probably. Maybe 12. I don't know. You know, she was at that awkward age. We were all at awkward ages. But we were visiting my grandmother in Battle Creek, Michigan. If you don't know Battle Creek, Michigan, that is the home of Airsoft Fatty, iDubbbz's favorite little mascot. If you don't know any of that lore, I don't know what you're doing here. But basically, Battle Creek, Michigan is a little town in Michigan that's stuck in the 60s, drug problems and all. It's crazy. I love it though. It's really pretty if you're from there. Yikes. Me and my siblings and my grandmother are out on this little nature walk, you know. We'd walk the windy roads by her house, by a lake, you know. It's a really pretty lake. That's where they lived at the time. And we're just walking down the street, just everybody's enjoying, you know, little baby's in the stroller. I think my sister's pushing the stroller, and me and my brother are just walking, probably talking about Mario and Luigi or something stupid, probably button poop. You never know. We were like 5 and 6, so but then then this young little deer just comes walking out of the woods. Maybe not young and little. It was big to us, you know. It was a deer. It looked like a deer. And it just came walking right up like it was a pet. And I remember being like a child and watching my grandma like walk up to this deer and watching this deer walk up to my grandma. And at the time, my grandmother was like the only like hippie that I knew, that we knew at all. Like she didn't eat any meat. She was a yoga instructor. She would wake up and like go sit on the lake and do yoga and meditate, and like that was her whole thing. So like that was my first like spiritual person I ever knew. So I just remember watching her, like it looked like telepathically talk to this deer as this deer walked up to us. It was just like such a moment. Like she put the hand out and everything, and this deer walks up, you know, lo and behold, the deer walks up and just lets us pet it. All of us. We're all just petting this deer. until all of a sudden, this deer gets up on its hind legs, you know, skinwalker type shit, gets up on its hind legs and just pushes my brother to the ground. Like, yo, is that fucking blackface dude? Like, that party scene. Like, just pushes him to the ground like he owed him money. It was unbelievable. And we all just kind of stood we all just stood there and watched. You know, I guess we were like in a flight or fight. We were all like just freeze. But my grandmother, you know, this thing, it didn't just push him down. It pushed him down, kind of stood over him, spit on him a little bit, you know, took his money, and then just started wailing on him. It kept going. It was unbelievable. It just kept going. And my grandmother just yells something, run. So my sister takes the stroller again, and me and my sister and my brother, we just book it. And we look back, and Grandma's just whooping this deer's ass. I mean, vegetarian, meditating with the sun, singing with the birds, grandmother is whooping this deer's ass. Like it owed her money. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like half of it, I was watching my shoes as I ran up the street, you know, looking at my brother and his bruised back of the head, you know, as he's crying. You know, no offense, bro, you were crying, but like, dude, you're just looking back, and I'm literally seeing my grandmother karate chop this deer in his throat as he's standing up on hind legs, you know, punching back. I've never Never seen deer act like that. Never seen deer act like that. This is a real story. I promise you, every aspect of the story is real. I mean, this is it. I still have the vivid memory of my grandmother karate chopping a deer in the chest, and she's letting out the karate words. Like karate word. Yeah, she's like, stay away from my grandchild. Oh, unbelievable! I cannot believe any of it. And so eventually we're running, and I don't know where this idea came from, but we just, knocked on a stranger's door. We're like, dude, there's killer deer on the loose. You gotta let us in. And sure enough, it's Battle Creek, Michigan. Kids showed up at this dude's door, and he's like, and one in the stroller, come on in. Come on in. We told him what happened. He gets a pair of binoculars out. He looks down the street, and he goes, oh, yeah, sure, that's a little buck. Is that your grandmother? And he's also watching my grandmother fist fight this teenage buck. And he's telling us all about, like, why they do this, and, like, it's territorial mating season, and he just smelled my brother and thought he was competition. Then he explained, like, what that meant, and, it was just weird day for everybody. Weird day for everybody involved. Grandma ended up getting to the house, meeting back up with us, checking the injuries, and then called Grandpa in the big white van, and we all piled into the big white van and drove home. And my parents, I still don't think my parents believe the story, like, truthfully. Like, they got home, because we were just, like, spending the weekend there or whatnot, I think my parents were, like, going shopping or something weird, going to Cedar Point, maybe. I think they did that a lot. They'd live us at Grandma's house so they could go to Cedar Point, Midwesterner tales, only you guys will understand. But I still don't think they believe the story. I think my sister, I still don't think that she believes it thoroughly, and she was there to witness it. I think that a lot of us kind of just, told ourselves that that's something that we will never argue with. We watched a deer stand up on its hind legs and box my grandmother for like 10 minutes while we ran for our lives. I don't know. It was just surreal, and everybody in the neighborhood, they're like, oh yeah, they do that this time of year, and it's like, I'm not no city boy. City boy. Where I grew up, like, yeah, we'd have deer and porcupine getting into your shed and quilling you. That was like the typical issue. Like, oh yeah, if you're gonna go in there, just make sure you knock a bunch of times, so that massive raccoons can leave or the bobcat knows you're coming. Like, that was normal. So I wasn't, like, shocked at an animal attacking. I was shocked at a deer standing up on its hind legs and knowing MMA combat, like, material. It was unbelievable. I've never seen a deer know how to duck and cover so quickly. He literally yelled, "Parry this, you fucking casual," as he, like, roadhouse kicked my grandmother in the jaw. I've never seen it. And if you can tell me that it didn't happen, but it happened. I promise you it happened, and I can get witnesses to sign documents saying that they also saw it and it happened. I can get my brother on here to say it too, but he doesn't talk too much after what happened. He don't have too much to say no more. Dude. I don't know. Look at little me. I'm just there's a little in the corner. But no, I don't know. It's real. It happened. I was there. You can't tell me it didn't happen. Also, what's up with the background sound? Do you guys like it this time? I decided we're not gonna do mall music. I decided we're gonna go for something different. But yeah, episode 2, video 2. Why not? I decided I'm gonna try and shit one of these out every single day. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool? You guys watch me for like 5 to 8 minutes. I take 4 hours to edit a video that 12 people watch. I love this. No, I seriously couldn't be happier talking about deer fighting like grown men, old ladies, and little kids. I honestly couldn't also be happier talking about answering mindless questions of myself like I'm a narcissistical celebrity. I love it. I really do. This is what I was made for. When I was younger, when my brother would go to his dad's house and it was just me and my mother left in the house, I would say, it's the LEEM show, all the LEEM, all the day. This went on until I was about like 17, So, LEEM show though. Welcome back to the LEEM show, guys. I hope you enjoyed this installment. Thanks for watching.